Uh, I take it that we're live then. We all know it's very important to hear what I have to say. I know they usually hear me echo, so hopefully there's no echo. uh, good times. About a month. Um, talking about like my child. Yeah, yeah. It's actually been a really weird month since we've last, cast. Obviously, I think I had said that my wife was pregnant, so the last month, my daughter was born just about a month ago. She was born on the 13th. She was born on Friday the 13th.
Yikes.
Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. She was born on the 13th, no. No. I am a terrible father. She was born on the 16th. I'm a terrible
I'm in
father.
tears. I'm in tears.
My anniversary was Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay. All right.
My daughter was born, so yeah, our anniversary was March 13th, and then 3 days later, our daughter was born.
Now, do you feel like that's going to put you in a good or bad position for remembering birthdays and anniversaries?
I'm more likely to forget my anniversary than I am my daughter's birthday.
All
Just
right.
saying.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
She's not even a month old yet. Then
Yeah, few days away from being a month old.
I
So
mean,
we'll
it
round
would
up.
help if we knew officially the exact date she was born. You seemed a little
March
uncertain.
16th.
So
March 16th at about 12. I think it was 12:13 in the afternoon.
okay.
Give or take a few minutes there.
All right. Well, big congratulations. Um, I remember getting the text. You're like, not going to be able to cast today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we came home Wednesday, the day before the cast, and it was well there was more to it than just the birth of my daughter.
Yes, there's some other personal stuff.
Yeah, we've had a bittersweet last month, so
Yeah.
I don't mind sharing it if people don't mind listening for a second. But I mean, we live with my wife's grandfather, or used to live with my wife's grandfather. Our child was born the 16th, and he passed away the day we brought home our daughter. So, like I said, it was bittersweet. We were happy to bring home our daughter, but we lost a very, very great person. So,
Yeah, uh, it was a very interesting couple weeks there for you.
yeah,
Major condolences there, obviously.
yeah,
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, no,
So,
absolutely, man. But it's
not to be the Debbie Downer of the cast. So let's move on.
no, no. You've had a lot of life changing things going on.
Yeah,
Um, That all happened. You said that was the 16th,
Yeah.
and then I had moved on the 14th. So the way everything just kind of fell together was just kind of crazy time wise for us. So we had thought it could do that, but we were kind of hoping it would spread things out a little bit differently, you know.
Yeah.
But to jump right into the first topic, since your child was born on the 16th, that did not interfere with you attending a store championship. Was it on the 19th?
No, I wasn't able to go to that one because of the
Okay.
wake. The wake and
okay,
the
yes,
funeral
that's
were on
right.
a Sunday and a Monday.
That's
So I
right.
had to miss my first event. But I found out there was one on a Friday, the 27th, I think it was.
Okay, the week.
So
Okay.
we had 8 people, and I did not lose a single game and won the event. I did almost lose to Trench Run though. It was very close. He got it to 8, and he thought he could rebel assault it. And I was like, yeah, you can't do that.
No, you just
And
had
he's
to
like-
shatter his dreams.
He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's in the FAQ, buddy. Sorry.
Oh,
So, yeah, it was pretty fun. It was nice playing against people not named Flip.
they said the stream died. That's weird.
That's weird.
I'm getting no drop frames, so that might just been a hitbox hiccup or something. Mine's still live, so sorry guys.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't lose mine. It's not a cast unless we have some sort of hiccup. So
Right. Mine definitely did not go down. I'm gonna guess we've only had 2 people say they lost theirs. Yeah, other people are saying theirs are good. All right. So was that like life shattering that he almost had it there but wasn't able to pull it off?
I wouldn't say it was life shattering. He was a little perturbed,
Oh, okay.
but he's like, yeah, it was basically reliving like 2 years ago when Trench Run came out, and everybody was like, but it says treat it like an objective or as if it's an objective, you know. So it was like 2013 all over again, which was kind of funny.
Oh, jeez. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
And congrats on the regional bye. Do you know which regional you're going to use it at?
Probably Chicago.
Okay. Is that, were you being sarcastic, or is that you're not certain?
Well, the only way I use it anywhere else is if I go to another one that is not Chicago. Because right now I'm probably only going to be able to make Chicago.
Okay.
There's a chance I may go up to Milwaukee, or it's not quite Milwaukee, but it's in that area. I may go to that one. I'm still undecided and still looking for people that would possibly want to drive up there with me.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Right on. Well, store championships officially wrapped while we were on hiatus. They closed out about 10 days ago now.
well, I think there was a straggler in April in
Oh,
the
okay.
Philly area
Okay.
or New Jersey area, whatever it was.
Okay.
They got the special permission from FFG, so
Smokey says he'll ride with you.
he's just got to get up here first.
There
So
you go.
Nooners, you're a little far out of the way to go pick up.
So overall, store championships compared to last year, what would you say? Was this year an improvement? Was this year more of the same in terms of, some of the issues from last year, the hype, the attendance? What is your general thoughts?
It felt like to me that attendance may have been a little bit better.
I agree.
I can't confirm that, but that was my impression because I went to quite a few last year, and there was me and one other person at one. There was 4 of us at another. There was 5 of us at another, and I think the most we had was 7 or 8. I only went to one this year, and it had 8 people. So that's pretty good. And it could just be that we probably had our expectations set too high last summer or last season. And this season we were like, well, we kind of know what to expect. So if we get what we expect, we're fine. And to me, it felt like we got more than what we expected. So felt better this year.
That's good. I agree. I think there was more players. I think the excitement of BTS was way more interesting than Balance of the Force the year prior.
Yeah.
It was. I would say it was a success. I think promo Han is really hard to top, but I really thought promo Obi-Wan was just gorgeous.
Yes.
I would say that overall, I think even though I really enjoyed, I think the playmat looks really good. I think I enjoyed what they did last year a little better, where it was a different card, a different playmat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it was the reversal of Fate mat,
Yeah.
and it had the same picture on the plaque.
Yeah.
And then Han was the card. Yeah. And then the boxes. There were 2 deck boxes.
Yeah, that's very true.
There was a Scum and there was a Smuggler deck box. Yeah, I remember that. That was nice too.
I think what they did this year was super simplistic and very easy. Everybody gets the same deck box. I like that. I think we had discussed last year how it was kind of a little complicated who gets which, whatever. But I definitely think I liked different playmat with different promo.
Yeah, I'm happy either way. I love that playmat because that Obi-Wan is one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And I love the promo, the alternate art one. I thought that was I like that one a lot.
It's easily one of like that. The Force Chokes and Emperor are my favorite promos.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because last year we had the Jabba promo for regionals and the Jabba playmat, whereas this year we have a Pilot Han playmat for regionals.
Yeah.
And Akbar as the promo.
Are the deck boxes the same?
I can't remember what the deck boxes are.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Because then maybe they just flip-flopped. Maybe they flip-flopped.
But that's okay. That was not my way of saying I didn't like the prizes. That was my way of saying I think next year I would, if they're listening, it'd be really neat to go back to the promo card and a different playmat. I don't think they need to send I didn't need Obi-Wan on everything.
Yeah.
You're indifferent?
I'm indifferent.
You just wish there was a backpack.
A suitcase. I've got the messenger bag. I need a suitcase.
I'm still waiting for my metal lunchbox and thermos.
There you go. That'd be pretty good.
All right. So a couple other things happened while we took a couple weeks off. We had some new cards come out.
We got 2 new Force packs in the span of 3 weeks.
Spain's got the entire cycle, but over here we just got the packs. So
we got nicer bathrooms over here, though. I really can't talk to that. I've never been to Spain.
All right, so Draw Their Fire released. It released, I think, the week we started our little hiatus.
Yeah.
So we wanted to spend a bit and discuss Draw Their Fire, right? We'd already kind of discussed things. We had gone over our Rebel set already.
Yeah, we had already talked about some of the set. Yeah. Well, not. You know what? I don't know that we really talked about anything. Excuse me. I don't know that we talked about too much else.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't remember. I know we talked about Baron Fell set and obviously our set.
Yeah.
But I don't think we talked about the Scum, the Sith, or the Smuggler set.
Okay. All right. Well, where would let's do this. Let's start with your. Well, have you actually gotten since the pack came out? Have you gotten any games in with the cards?
With the cards, no. I played in that regional, and it was obviously out by then.
Wait,
but
hold on.
I'm not sorry.
Store Championship. Okay, all right. But you weren't piling in new cards.
Wait, you didn't know there was already a regional? Come on, man. No.
Spain, they're just so far ahead of everything.
Yeah. No, I played in that store championship, and I saw some people playing with the new cards, but they didn't make it into my deck.
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10, what would you score the first the pack draw their fire?
I'm gonna say it's middle of the road, so we'll just say like 5 or 6.
You're giving it an F. That is an F.
Okay, so then we'll give it a 7. It's a 70%.
Oh, I love it. All right, all right. So is it like a C minus or is it C plus?
I'm gonna say like C minus.
Yeah, I guess if it's a 7, it's gotta. Well, you said 70, so that's definitely C minus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It,
Is there
it feels like a pack that is just the foundation of what is to come.
one one aspect of it that I mean, we're gonna go ahead and assume most people have been playing with the cards for a couple weeks, so we don't need to jump in and really like explain what the cards are. Right?
Yeah, we don't need to read the text or nothing like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So one thing that really jumped out to me is out the gate, Scum got anti-vehicle cards.
Yes.
Like just first pack, ready to go. Scum can mess up light side's vehicle rotation.
It's a pretty swift kick to the pants of a Sleuth Scout deck.
It is. I feel like we both kind of just like PG'd our little metaphors there.
Yeah.
That's some dedication. So
Yeah, a year ago I might have swore.
I really like that. I think it's really. I think that's a good design that you have anti what the cycle could be about. So before things kind of get out of hand, you have the answer, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, if the Echo Cycle in the first pack, if there is a Dark Side anti-draw card, right? Like that could have been strong.
Yeah.
So I really dig it for that, and I like it as a set too. I think it if you have some trouble with vehicles in the area, boom, you got a Scum set that can handle it.
Yeah, I mean you got the two guys that just blow something up. Seems okay. You're blowing up those new X wings or some Y wings or some B wings. Seems okay.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. No, I think it's good. In my conversations and in my playtesting with the sets thus far, my thought process has been like, okay, for light side, I want to run Yub Yub so I can kill pilots. Just in case like pilots get out of hand, you know. But in actual play, what I have seen perform better is just removing the vehicles the pilots are on to begin with.
Yeah.
Because going after the enhancements, all you're really doing is just like strengthening the usefulness of stay on target.
Yep.
But if you can go after the vehicles, like that Scum set does, it opens a new line of attack for dominating meta concepts.
Yeah, but at the same time though, those Starship Thieves, how often are you putting a pilot on a 2-cost unit? Oh, it's unpiloted anyway.
It depends on the deck build, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Smokey says novice thieving some sleuth scouts will be quite satisfying.
It will be.
Yes, it will. It will.
Playing Niles Farrier onto a blockade runner will be even more satisfying. Because now they can't block it.
Didn't we talk earlier? And I had you look up Niles to see if he was a mercenary because I wanted to be able to merc support him into play to try to take the Falcon.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some fun stuff you can do with those cards.
We even looked to see if Stay on Target would let you do some Niles Farrier shenanigans, and it does not. It's that darn friendly word in there.
Yes.
Only.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
right, so-
Niles Farrier won't be capturing too many Falcons. He could. You would just need Virago's objective in play, and you would obviously have to damage it somehow.
Yes.
So
I do have to appreciate that the Scum spurt has showed up at the end of the Scum conversation.
too late.
Now Sith gave us my favorite card from Ready for Takeoff, which
Death Star
was
Ready Room,
yes. Oh my God, it's broken.
TIE Advanced.
No, I am a giant fan of Black 2.
Yes. A starfighter or a fighter with a tactics.
Oh, it's the protect that it makes
Yeah,
that thing so beastly.
does.
I my general line of thinking in regards to like when I'm trying to work on a new deck or a new concept, like what I think would be strong or what I would want to play, it's typically based on what I don't want my opponent to play. And I will tell you straight up, I never want my opponent to put Black 2 onto the table. That card is just a pain. Just a flat out pain.
Well, it's mostly a pain if there's a pilot on it, though, because otherwise it's just a 3 health protector, which is, yeah, it's annoying, but
I mean, it's. I think 3 for 3 health with a protect or with the tactics with a gun and protect. Our local player here, Norman, has been running the Thunder Flare with it, and man, that combo is not fun.
well, does Thunder Flare straight up have 3 guns?
He has to win edge.
All right, so but I mean, still, like there's you know, between the shadows, Yoda is just going to focus you down. I mean, you can't do anything when you're focused,
Yeah, that is so true.
and you can't do anything for 3 turns when you got 3 focus tokens on you. Just saying. No, I won't disagree though. I think Black 2 is a good card. I liked it, or I like it. My favorite card of that set is Black Squadron Formation.
That's what you like the most, really? Okay.
I do. Yeah, well, there's some shenanigans that you can pull with like edge battles. So if you have, if you're playing with the core set TIE Advanced, Vader's TIE Advanced, it's 3 Force Icon card. You can use it in an edge battle, focus this, go get it back for another edge battle.
Sure.
If they get anything with more than 3 Force Icons, that's, Black Squadron. Now you're looking at, pretty good edge card that's going to come back every turn.
It's very true.
I mean, yeah, granted, you've got to keep that thing, unfocused to do it. So that means you're not spending a resource. But at the same time, if you could spend a resource to give yourself better odds of winning an edge battle, I think it might be worth it.
Yeah. No, it's really good with Vader's tie for sure.
Anything else from this? I mean, we haven't touched the smuggler set yet.
Yeah, like the Smuggler set to me is one of those sets that I know it has a home. I just have no idea where yet.
Yeah, to me, I mean, they've got the protect objective. So I mean, if Navy ever becomes like a serious thing, this could be one of those sets that you just throw in. But right now, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I like the 2 drops. I mean, they're typically better dark side versions, than light side versions. But we know that's a really good defender,
Yeah.
And I like Connor Net, and a little maneuver's okay, I like I said, I think the set's fine. I just don't know what its home is yet. I'm certain once it finds a home, it's going to be really, really good in it. I just don't know what that home is yet. I think my other hang up too is that I think I just prefer the other Lando.
Pushing people out is seems a little bit better.
Yeah, like I like just taking a unit out of the engagement entirely rather than just making their icons not matter.
Yeah. I do like the objective.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's how many units do not have edge enabled combat icons? There is not a lot of them. I guess you have the downside is you have to have a pilot out, so maybe I don't like it so much anymore. Kind of forgot about that part.
Now, like we said, we'd already talked about the other sets. I do personally, I prefer Black 2 over Fell. I think Fell is definitely annoying, but I honestly think the 181st are the better card. in his set. After the more I see these ties in play, like the more fearful I am of the 181st than I am of Fell.
Well, they're only as good as your pilots.
No, I mean they're just annoying. Period. Like most of the pilots out right now for Darkseid have 2 to 3 Force icons, and just as soon as they get loaded up, like Lightside's just gotta like kind of work overtime to try to win those Force struggles, and it lets them attack and still win Force struggles. Like, man, like you really have to play around him. Like Fell, like it's not too hard to play around Edge and Elite. You know, definitely annoying. I'm much happier when Fell is not in play than when he is play. But I just those 181st, as soon as they get one down, I'm just like, ugh, here we go.
Yeah. No, I agree. They are a very good card. I've been, I call it like my pet deck. I've told you about. I've been building, playing around with fighter decks on both sides actually, light side and dark side. But
just one thing, you really confused me. What did you call it?
oh, I'm sorry, they're tighter decks.
Yes, tighter decks. You said fighter. I don't know what those are, but if you refer to it as a tighter deck, I'm really gonna understand.
So what do we call? Do we just call them vehicles on the light side then?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been playing with vehicle decks on the light side and tighter decks on the dark side. And I noticed pretty quickly that those 181st are pretty annoying when you got your good pilots on them.
Very true.
I felt differently about Baron though. When I had him in play, I was like, man, Elite and Edge 1. There's just it just seems a little harder to lose Edge battles when you've got 3 units attacking in and you've already got Edge 3. Granted, a lot of their fighter cards are 1 or 2, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I liked it. I thought it was an interesting deck. So, I can't wait till all of Black Squadron is available. That should be fun.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see some of these cards kind of go up in equity, But to kick things off, I definitely think we both agree that Ready for Takeoff, a little bit of a whimper.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's Hoth Cycle was definitely a bit of a whimper as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've played with the Rebel set. The only set I haven't played with is Lando set.
Okay.
And I think we were kind of we weren't very high on hobby set.
Yeah.
And the more I play with it, the more I start to like it.
It does a lot of cute things, that's for sure.
I like the objective and those X-Wings. I mean, they don't have any Force icons, but their icons are black. Their combat icons are black. And being able to remove focus and damage from them, with hobby has seemed pretty annoying. So.
We've got Utini says that he put new Lando in a attack pattern Delta deck, and it was pretty useful there. You get the 2-drop speeders. You get pilot stuff. I dig that.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I'm not. If I'm the dark side, I guess the 2-drops are better defenders than a snow speeder.
Yeah, man, 2-drop's a 2-drop when they're free.
I mean, a free unit is a free unit. Yeah.
That's legit. I dig it. All right. Draw their fire?
Draw their fire.
Apparently that just came out.
I haven't even, my store doesn't even have it yet.
I picked up my pack on Wednesday. We played some games Wednesday night. And I was up till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then up at about 6 o'clock in the morning dealing with a sick kitty, and have not had the moments to sit down and get it into the deck builder just yet. But I liked what I saw.
It appears to be a very good set. This is definitely not a 70% pack.
All right, what is this? Out of 10, where do you put it?
Like 88.
Really?
It's like a
Okay.
solid B plus.
I don't think you could have picked a more random number.
Probably could have. It's a solid B plus pack. I'm not going to say it's like a 10 out of 10
Like,
or 9 out of 10. It's a
okay,
really good.
for the record, everybody listening to the cast, for the record, a solid B plus is an 88. Can't be an 89.
I almost said
that's too
89.
solid.
I was like, no, I'll go 88. That might be like my subconscious. I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan, and number 88 is Patrick Kane. Just saying. So maybe
All
that's
right.
why.
All right. We
Bringing a
got
little- bringing a
Jason
little
says
hockey into
that
this.
89 is B plus plus. So
Yeah,
you're just
see?
in the B.
I said it was a solid B plus. I didn't say it was a B plus plus.
I think he's being facetious.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I like his argument though.
Okay, all right. So now that
We've gone off the rails.
oh my god, I love it. All right, so what about the pack? First off, for you, puts it that high on the scale? Because I mean that's pretty high. That 88 is almost a 90.
Well, I'm a big fan of guarding the wing.
Okay.
It's not there yet, but it will be.
Okay.
The Jedi set is really good.
Yep.
I like the Rebel set. I think that Rebel set is good. It's got a non-unique pilot. It's got the advanced proton torpedoes, and it's got like probably the most bonkers card that the Rebels have to date.
Yeah. Yeah, that card is definitely a card.
And yeah, it's got. I
Would
think,
you say
three
that
really good
it's the
sets.
best board wipe so far?
Yes.
I mean, I still really like my ally as the Force, but typically Darkseid commits their best units, right? So this one is not typically their best units are enhanced. Typically
Yeah,
not
and if you
how-
look at the dark side, what enhancements do they really have? Vader's lightsaber, Mara's lightsaber. Okay. Beyond
Hey,
that,
you forgot the best one. I'm a little offended.
I'm confused.
Mandalorian armor.
Oh, yes, because that is so widely played.
It's the best enhancement for a character. It's so good.
Well, yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good if you can get it on Boba Fett. Yes, I agree. But there's a lot of bad cards in there.
So, let me do a search real quick. Are there dark side enhancements that you would start putting on dark side units instead of light side units, just to deal with that card?
I'm gonna dark memories my own dudes just so they don't die.
Is it even possible?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, they've got like Gaffy Stick. They've got the two lightsabers. They've got the one from Corset, the Hand's Blessing or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
hands blessing. Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, though, I struggle to really think of anything. I'm sure, yeah, Mandalorian armor, flamethrower.
Most of them seem to be enemy enhancements.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll just say 9 out of 10 times or even 8 out of 10 times, this thing is a total board wipe for Darkseid units. And even if you wipe their board and they just have Vader, big deal, that's just one unit and he doesn't have tactics.
In the chat box, Boba Fett says you could even put hate on him if you need to.
Hate doesn't say enemy.
Nah, it's just enhance the character unit.
Okay. What does hate even do? I don't even remember.
It blanks their card except for traits.
Oh, that's the one from Call of the Cult.
Yeah. Which, coincidentally enough, it is actually a pretty good anti-Jedi deck card. Like, if you're seeing a lot of Jedi in your area, hate really isn't... I mean, it's useless on Yoda, or Luke. But, you know, it definitely turns off BTS Yoda. It definitely will turn off Kuran.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess while we're talking about desperation, talk about the rest of the set because I really like this set.
Yeah, I heard. I heard you enjoy it quite a
We
bit.
were talking about it this morning. Yeah, no, I like that the gunner is non-unique, and there's a lot of good targets for that card. Like that with the Moldy Crow, 4 blast and 4 guns, seems pretty silly. And I believe they're all black guns, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sorry, just to correct something. Nooners pointed out hate is not useless on Luke. That's correct. I'm so used to other things being useless on Luke.
Yeah, because it would turn him off. He wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to just kick it off. Call the cult, rising in value quickly.
Yeah.
You seem to have lost your train of thought.
I got a very important email that is related to certain things that unfortunately I cannot discuss on the cast. I apologize, cast. I will deal with that later. All right. It was definitely LCG related, but I can't discuss on the cast. You and I will discuss later.
Roger that.
All right. So what
We were talking about desperation in the Rebel set. In case you lost
right?
your
No, but I
train of
wanted to
thought.
ask you, like, where do you find that set? Like, do you think a whole new Rebel archetype needs to be created, or do you think we'll see something similar to what Matt Coles did at Nationals?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think you can probably start with his list, and then trim it. Trim out some of those other sets, like probably Renegade Squad, Mobilized Renegade Squadron, and slot this in, and then start to work from there. You know. I think this. Well, actually, to be honest, I think if you're going to go the route of desperation, you have to build around it. So you want more enhancements. So you're definitely looking at Defense of Yavin 4 as a 2 of for the astromech droids. You're looking at this as a 2 of since it's got advanced proton torpedoes and Gray Squadron Gunner as 2 ofs. And then you just kind of pick and choose from there, I guess. But you're definitely looking at the sets with pilots or some kind of enhancements for your stuff to protect them.
Yeah.
That's the
So-
direction I've taken with this set.
Do you think it's there now, or do you think more like? Do you think it'll get better as more packs come out, or do you think it's something that's definitely a thing now?
I think it's definitely got room for improvement. It needs you probably are looking at a deck that wants to have as many pilot or enhancement ship combinations as possible, so that way when they finally do drop the desperation, it doesn't hurt them so much as it hurts the dark side.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, desperation, as soon as the dial gets to 8, and it's not restricted to when it can be played. So the dial hits 8 on their turn. As soon as as soon as they go to conflict, you just play desperation,
Yeah.
and you just wave goodbye to all their stuff. And then on your turn, and then really you've got 3 turns to win the game.
Right. Right.
It shouldn't be difficult. I think this is going to be a really annoying card going forward. So
Going forward. Okay. That's what I was trying to see exactly where your stance on it was.
yeah, no,
Okay.
it's we don't have enough attachments right now. I don't think for this to be too much of a thing. Maybe
Like, for it to be backbreaking.
yeah, like
You're
maybe
visualizing more of a board state where like Lightside has 4 or 5 vehicles and all are piloted.
I'll tell you what, I would even throw this in a Jedi deck. It'd be a completely random set to have, but Jedi have a ton of enhancements.
They really really do. That is so
It's
true.
just my random thought of the day. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with Smokey's statement. He says desperation seems like he's going to win next turn, and I need one more objective card, but not much else. I think it's even a card where you can just literally sit there all game, just setting up your board. And I haven't tested this, but it seems like you could just sit there and just build up your board, get your house in order, as they say, and as soon as the dial hits 8, now you're going at it. I could even see this with Trench Run. Honest to God, when you only need to do 10 damage,
That's true.
you destroy most of their units or all of their units, and you've just got Trench Run sitting there. I don't know if anybody's counted up the amount of Black Blast that Rebel units have, but it's quite a bit. I'm pretty sure 10 in one single turn is not going to be hard.
Yep.
So that's my thoughts on it.
We're having a bit of a rules discussion in the chat here.
What's the discussion? I've actually not been reading the chat.
Utini had said that Luke cannot kick off enemy event enhancements from himself, and a couple of us, it looked like we're a bit confused as to why he couldn't. But Utini's saying that you can't pay a cost with enemy cards, which I have no idea if that's a thing. I've never heard you couldn't do that with Luke, but I hadn't really ever seen it happen, so I didn't really.
The question is it a cost?
Yeah, apparently they're reading the card. I'm not, but apparently they're saying yes, that's a thing. I always thought you could.
Yeah, without seeing the card in front of me, I'm not sure.
Later, Nooners. Yeah, so apparently, so the cost is that it says discard an enhancement from this unit to remove one focus token from this unit. And Utini's saying that there's a rules reference. I'm not the best at having that FAQ memorized, so.
Yeah, I know you can't. I know you can't pay costs with, their cards or along those lines,
All right,
whatever
there
the
you
wording
go.
is.
So you can enhance Luke with dark side enhancements, and they cannot kick them off. Good to know. I've never seen anybody do it. I've never seen it come up. I just always assumed you could.
I was in the same boat as you, but I never really looked into it, so it was never really anything I thought about.
Boba Fett says it's been ruled on by FFG in the rule clarifications. That's why confiscation is good on Shadows Luke. Good to know. Where is a rules clarification? Is that like in the back of the FAQ?
He may be talking about on Card Game DB,
On the forums? Yeah, okay.
the forums, yeah.
Gotcha.
People will email, and then they post the email online.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. Yeah. So, which of the sets in Draw Their Fire is your favorite?
Survivors.
There was no time and consideration for that answer.
Well,
That was just you just bam right there.
Yeah, I love the set. It's. I mean, it's just it's another Jedi set that is really good in a long line of good Jedi sets. So I like it. I'm excited about it. It's
Yeah.
probably not what people wanted to see
Do
because
you
it's just
think
more good brown cards.
in decks that would require a Secret of Yavin slot? Do you think that replaces it?
It's hard to say because Secret of Yavin does more than just protect. It also has the C3PO and the twist.
And the blaster.
And the blaster deflection, and I think the objective is highly underrated.
No, I agree.
protect-
I agree.
you
I
know-
used it quite a bit myself. Yeah, for sure.
Protecting something from being destroyed. always pretty good. So, but I don't think this necessarily replaces it. It's an alternative. I wouldn't say it's a replacement.
It's to me, it's all very interesting because the whole set is based around keeping your guys alive longer,
Yeah.
and it always kind of felt like that was the main goal of including secret into your deck. While I get that the other cards were good too, it always seemed like you really wanted the grandmas in play, so your other stuff lived longer. And I agree 100% with you, Teeny. I really think that it makes Core Yoda like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I that was the first place my mind went when building with survivors was that enhancement on Yoda. Oh my god.
Two of those on Yoda, he's just unkillable. He's just like, yeah, what you gonna do, buddy?
Well, the hard part about making Yoda unkillable is that he can just one shot objectives depending on what else you stack on him.
Yeah. Get some trust your feelings going, some Sheehan trainings,
Yeah, yeah.
some lightsabers, and
And then he gets
Yoda's.
bossed in
And
Dark
then he
Side
gets,
wins.
yeah, yeah. What did you call that? Voltron, Voltron Yoda.
Yep.
Yeah, and then yeah, you
And then he
get
gets
boss,
bossed.
or heaven forbid you're playing off affiliation and he gets snoovered. That would be the worst.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I think Survivors is really really good. I'm very curious to see how the meta develops behind it because there's no. It's one of those sets that like nobody asked for. You know what I mean? Like I don't think anybody out there was like, man, if only we could make Brown survive longer.
That's
Like
not
there,
true because a year ago we were asking for Brown to be better.
oh well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I should have meant like after multiple sets focused on making Brown good. I don't think anybody out there was like, man, I wish Brown just doesn't have the cards to live long enough. Like they need something out there that is interrupt based and just protects them while killing other things.
Because if the survivors would have been in like Corset, Yoda would have been like a boss, and he probably would still only have 2 health in all his other versions.
Whatever, dude. Tear their ship apart. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah,
But
I'm,
no, no.
I'm pretty I'm pretty sure if you're playing Tear This Ship Apart, your odds of seeing good cards are going down because you've got a lot of bad cards in there.
Smokey says that Zach said things pretty well in the TC spoiler article. Um, that Jedi would have been competitive much sooner if Survivors had been out much sooner. Like
Yeah.
Survivors, it seems like a set that goes better when like the design of Jedi were like they were through like Core and Echoes. But once we hit or not Core and Echoes, Core and Hoth. Once we hit
I was like,
Echoes,
wait, why
right,
Echoes?
right. Once we hit Echoes, like Brown cards were just ridiculous, and we didn't seem to need any like support stuff for them. Like a lot of decks even stopped running Guardians at a certain point.
Yeah,
So I guess what I'm maybe kind of getting at is while Survivors is crazy, and I do think it's a really really good set. I agree with you. It's definitely the best set in the pack. It also feels like a win more card or a set that putting it in there like honestly with the way Brown is right now, you were probably already winning anyway.
when
But
you've got when you got BTS Luke and BTS Yoda just making life miserable.
we had a game the other night where she and Training got on BTS Yoda, and
That's
it was
just not
just
fair.
yeah, it was a turn one Yoda seek Yoda into a turn two Sheen Training, and admittedly, it was very much this like, well, hope the dark side's got some enhancement hate. Otherwise, yeah. Like the crazy thing about it on him is that he can literally lock out non-participating units and let the units strike at him and just deflect back and kill other ones. Like
Yeah, he's potentially affecting 4 units that are not even in the engagement.
and taking no damage at the same time.
Yeah.
Pretty. I definitely think that that ability should have been a reaction. I think having it
Also,
as an interrupt is going to make things a little bonkers for the next X amount of months.
at least we can't put this on Chewbacca.
All right. So what do you? Let's see. We briefly talked about, I guess, a couple sets now. Let's see. Sith got new cards. Navy got new cards.
Smugglers got new
Was
cards.
it smugglers? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about the smuggler thing a long time ago because it got spoiled like 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, this is the Outrider and Lebo set.
Yes, and that set reminds me a lot of like Along the Gamor run, where it's kind of like I'm pretty sure it does something, but what it does, I'm just not sure it needs to do. But I have a feeling like it's going to come back and like do something really, really stupid good. And
Well, it's the foundational set for smuggler vehicles if there ever is a thing because it's got the stay on target in the cantina,
yeah, that's
which
true.
is the resource.
Yeah.
So, and then it's got ship and a pilot. I mean, the combination of the two seems okay, the Outrider and Lebo, but it's like Lebo doesn't seem that great with anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. As this is going to seem a little random, and I hate to go back to it, but I do want to clarify 100% in case anybody was still confused or still mentally debating it or whatnot. It is 100% confirmed. Luke cannot kick off enemy enhancements. Just want to
You'll-
make sure we left that as 100% clear.
Did you look it up finally or something?
No. I just thought we should revisit that for just a moment. Moving on.
Random Thoughts by Flip the Force.
No, it wasn't random. I got a little worried that it wasn't 100% clear what that situation was. So, and now I've like derailed my own train of thoughts here. Like smugglers wise, it will be interesting to see how it continues to develop, especially with that. Hello?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
I can only focus on one thing at a time. I'm not gonna lie.
But you literally said, "Are you talking to me?" That's what I'd be talking to.
I thought you were talking to the cast in general. My bad.
Oh my goodness, you cracked me up. All right,
I love it.
So, all right. So, I think you said that's like that scum set is going to kind of set the stage for things to, or not scum,
You mean
smugglers.
smugglers?
Yeah, whatever comes out, you know that will probably be included with pilots.
Yeah, if there's like a
for
smuggler. If there's like a smuggler rebel or smuggler Jedi with pilots and ships. this is
FFG already
possible.
spoiled, the big Kahuna, right? Like,
Who's the big Kahuna?
okay, I'm crazy, aren't I? Don't we already know some smuggler things that are coming.
Yeah, I don't keep notes on what's been spoiled and what hasn't, so I just
You're
just
like,
I
don't
bite
know.
my
What
tongue
are
to
we
be
talking
safe.
about here?
I just bite my tongue to be safe.
Right, I understand. I'm pulling it up.
It's hard to keep track of everything that was spoiled, 6 years ago versus what's been spoiled recently.
Stop it. Just get on the phone with your friends in Spain.
Yeah, I know so many Spanish people. I know so many Spaniards. That's it, Spaniards.
What is going on? Did you yes, I know it's your day off. Is Friday like whiskey day for you or like
Are you implying that I am drunk, sir?
I don't think technically I'm the one implying. I'm just asking the question. I think your conversation might be
I have
Might
not
be
started drinking
implied.
yet.
Okay, first of all, I like the yet. Is that what we do after the cast? You're just like, oh god.
Yeah, I got to drink the pain away.
Drink the pain. You know, speaking of some fantastic TGO jokes, we did miss our July 4th.
Yes, we did miss the 4th of July jokes.
We did think about, we thought we would come back on April 1st and do some 4th of July jokes for everybody.
Yeah.
But I say it was TGO that decided against it.
Yeah, well, it's hard. April 1st was a Wednesday, and I had to work, so it was, I think you wanted to cast at like noon or something on April Fools or something. You wanted to do it early in the day, yeah.
Yes. Why would we not?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I didn't want to do the April Fool jokes. Or, as they've come to be known, the 4th of July jokes.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. We thought we would spare the community any sort of ill-planned joke for that horrible holiday.
So what
So I
exactly-
was not crazy. The Falcon has been spoiled. You made me think I was like making up cards or something. That bucket of bolts is the objective set. So it
Okay.
seems likely that Outrider will go hand in hand with Falcon.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. All right. So I guess the only other two ones that we really didn't go over much were the Sith and the Imperial set. I know you're a fan of the Imperial set. I'll tell you though, I definitely put that into play with our playtesting this week. We sat down with the two newest packs, and we put in like Vader's tie was the only card or only set that wasn't from the latest two packs. Everything else, it was like two Sith and two Navy sets, and I'm just like very bad on their names right now, so I'm not even gonna try. And that was the deck we were testing, and I was not, and I'm pulling up the stuff here, so I'll stop just speaking in randomness or something. I just don't want to. I want to get the card names right when I'm talking about it. You know, might
The
help
Emperor's-
everybody out there, not just me.
The Emperor's Sword and Guarding the Wing.
Thank you. Guarding the Wing, I was actually. It also felt very Winmore, like the resources. I was disappointed. I thought that was going to be, this massive enabler for like all kinds of like resource shenanigans, and instead it was like I've got 8 resources and I've got something that adds up to 4 in my hand because I've got both pilot enhancements in play and my stuff is almost free as it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely felt a little Winmore. I'm really interested to see how that one develops.
Well, Guarding the Wing, it plays really well with Black Squadron Formation and Black Squadron Assault. The Black Squadron decks typically use those two. They will use those two objectives for their abilities. So the core set one I think is Black Squadron Formation or Assault. Black Squadron Assault. That's the one with Vader's Tie Advanced. It lets you remove a focus token from one of your Black Squadron guys.
Yeah.
So if you've got pilots out there on your ships, you can use those to pay for your ships because they're Navy, so they're going to give you a Navy resource. Most of your ships are Navy anyway.
Right.
And you're probably, if you're playing with those two Sith sets, you're probably using the affiliation. So you've got at least one Sith there without having to use those two objectives.
Right.
So you can focus to return a card to your hand for an edge battle, or you can focus to ready a unit, and Guarding the Wing just lets you, do those shenanigans.
I
without-
really liked. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally cut you off. Without.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just trying to say, like, I really like the doors that it opens, and I'm thinking that those doors will kind of widen that much more when they start to see more stuff.
Yeah. I mean, once the whole cycle is out and we've got several sets that are Black Squadron focused, or even TIE Fighter focused,
Yeah.
the Titers deck is going to have a lot of options. See, I got it right that time.
I tell you, I really do love DS613. Like he's awesome.
Yeah, dealing the 2 damages is nice.
Yeah.
He's a little bit better than the backstabber. Which, anyway,
No, it's cool. Like I think it's cool what he does in that like contextually it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why like once he jumps into the cockpit like he's doing damage, but I still love the concept. Like it's like
I don't think it's so much that he's jumping into the cockpit. It's just he's
jumping into the battle.
yeah,
Okay.
kind of like the backstabber.
Yeah, I dig it.
So I mean,
I like him a
just a
lot more
flavor
than I
thing.
like. Is it Stell or Steel? How do you have any guess on how
Merrick?
that's pronounced? Yeah,
steel. I don't
because
know.
the E's on the other side of the L, so I think it's Steel, but I can't tell if it's also. Yeah, I don't know. But which one do you like more?
Which set?
No. Which of the pilots?
They're doing different things. I mean, I like that I can ambush in 2 damage for free.
Yeah,
That could
Well,
make or break an engagement.
Yeah,
Like maybe your ship is going to do 1. This one's doing 2 more. 3 damage is kind of like the critical mass for destroying stuff. So
right. I don't know. I like Steel on the 181st like a lot. I like that he like makes them like they make him better and he makes them better. And
I like
really,
him on
really
the
like that.
Executor because I want to hit something for 6 damage. I want to hit. I don't know. I want to hit an objective for 6. Take that, Secret of Yavin 4. Get in my way, will ya?
If we were still doing sound bites, you yelling "Take that, Secret of Yavin 4" would have been the greatest soundbite of all time.
Yeah.
Just yeah, like it literally sounded like you just fist pumped when you did it.
I was pretty animated with my hands when I said that. I will admit to that. It wasn't so much a fist pump; it was more of a finger to the chest. You know what I'm saying?
So, David's already thrown it out. We've got a new TGO shirt.
Yeah. I knew Smokey would do something with that. I want to see him make a GIF. Can GIFs have sound?
No.
Or is that something else completely?
All right. So the way we were going to segue this discussion of these 2 sets or these 2 packs was the looming regional season that is now just a few weeks away.
Literally. May 2nd it all starts, I believe.
It does. The third season for Star Wars LCG. Third actual season, but technically just second season of this way of doing things.
Yeah, the first season was really just a glorified store championship season.
It was. Yeah. So a while back when the spoilers started to trickle out for pilots, I was not too enthused. We now have 2 full sets under our wings, and I definitely think that pilots will be a thing at regionals. You agree, disagree? What are your thoughts?
I don't think they're going to be a thing right away. I think I really don't see them being too much of a thing the first couple of weeks, unless the third pack comes out and there's more pilots there.
My experience with Black 2 is like Black 2 is a thing. Like I definitely think at the very least Black 2 will show up in very interesting ways. And I would say the same thing about Kuran.
Yeah, but Kuran's not a pilot.
Yeah, but maybe we can just
We can't say pilots are going to be a thing and then like lump Kuran in there because
No, but I meant it more in just like those things I do think are going to shake up regionals. But yes, in regards to just pilots, I definitely think Black 2 will see play, which will thus put certain pilots into play. Like Black Squadron pilot, is that his name? I can't. What's the one from Core?
Black Squadron pilot.
Okay, yeah. Like I think those two sets will see some play. I mean, right now you've got 60% of your deck if you double up. That's just Sith ties, I guess.
So would that be? It's titers, dude. What are you talking about? It's
Yeah.
not ties. It's titers.
Just so is that what we're getting? Like any TIE
Sith,
fighter deck is just going to be
Sith
titers.
would be like Sith titers. That sounds really weird, but we're going with
It
it.
sounds so weird, and I love it so much. All right, Sith titers. All right, so yes or no, pilots are the thing at regionals. You're going to say no.
Uh, I don't want to be like. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll rephrase
It's
the
too
question.
soon.
Hold on. I'll rephrase the question. Are you going to play pilots at regionals?
Probably not. I would have to be blown away in the next few weeks by a pilot deck.
Now
To
we're
run
assuming
them.
that we're going to see a third pack before regionals kick off.
That was our assumption. Yes.
Yeah.
We are not often right.
My assumption is the week of the 20th, we're going to get a notification that the next pack is now shipping, and then like the week of the 27th is when that pack will hit stores. All right, so next up for regionals, then, what do you think? Like, if pilots aren't going to be a thing, then do you think the meta is basically going to be the same as store championships, or do you think it'll be like slightly different, since we do have some packs out that have given the meta a little bit of a new toys to play with?
It'll be. I think it's going to be slightly different. I don't think it's going to be the same by any means. I think a lot of store championship season is, people playing the funsies decks.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the I'm serious and I want to win this tournament deck.
No,
I mean,
for sure.
I did that because that was my only store championship that I could make, and I wanted to make sure that I won it.
Yeah.
So I brought serious decks, and they did seriously bad things to people. But I don't anticipate seeing. So I'm rambling here, but no, I think the meta is going to be a little different.
Okay. I will say my anticipation for regional season is actually really high. I thought BTS was awesome, and I really like that we're going to have, these 2 possibly 3 force packs out before regionals, and unlike last year, the environment's not completely broken. So like last year I remember feeling all this, like, it wasn't dread, it was just this kind of like not looking forward to playing against a certain deck type, which would have been, dash freeloaders. And it's nice to know that, like, I don't really feel that way this year about any deck type. Like, nothing feels like it's just too much.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people kind of gripe about brown cards online. But
I hear those are a thing.
They are really good. Don't get me wrong, and they should be. Luke and Yoda are tremendous cards. But we've got dark side decks that handle brown just fine, and I think it's neat. Like, I think it's like regionals this year are going to be a very fun environment. Whereas at the start of regionals last year, it was not a very fun environment. FFG did, auto correct that ship very quickly. That was SHIP, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering.
Right?
That.
I thought
It
you
definitely-
paused. I almost thought I heard you like gasp a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I was
threw
like,
that
did
out
he
there.
just
Yeah.
cuss? Did
Yeah,
he say
no,
a bad
I
word?
didn't. I didn't. So, is there, out of the stuff that has been spoiled, is there anything that you're looking at, like, merging into a previous deck, say for a regional season?
Well, I mean, obviously, you look at Q-Ron and you think, where does he fit in the Jedi? I mean, that's the low-hanging fruit there.
Yeah.
To me, I'm looking at Rebels and thinking that maybe Desperation is their answer.
Right.
Maybe that's the card they needed.
Do you think Desperation, just throwing a wedge here, do you think Desperation will combo well with Preparation for Battle?
That's the one that.
The objective is
Hall-
it's 4 or lower if it's 8 or higher. Do you think there's some
Oh,
synergy
that's the one
there?
with the speeders. That's the one with the speeders, the neutral speeders.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you know what? Well, when the dial gets to 8 or higher is when they gain the blast, right? And
Uh
when it's
huh.
4
Yeah.
or lower is when they
They
can't be
can't be hurt. Uh
damaged.
huh. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's
Maybe
probably a
that's a
good
thing.
idea.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually had forgotten about that one, which is funny because we played the crap out of that thing when it came out.
We'll come back to that. So outside of QROM, anything else you're wanting to kind of splash in?
I mean, the smuggler stuff is pretty forgettable right now. It doesn't
Really?
seem like it makes it just yet.
You don't want to try to put in Outrider with like Dash?
No.
You could go thematic and put Outrider with Freeholders and see if it's just as good.
Yeah, but Falcon and Freeholders is just better.
They really are. I that's what I was like kind of going with that. Like I kind of want to try Outrider and Falcon.
I guess, but
They don't really synergize, but it's two big smuggler ships that are fun to play. Maybe put
yeah.
some Rogue Squadron in there.
See, now you're just getting out of hand.
No, it wasn't even Rogue Squadron. It was Renegade Squadron. I don't even know the names of the cards, dude.
I knew what you meant. The five cost, 5 health.
Yeah,
I believe
like
it's
I
got a.
was not an EU reader, so like I don't know any of that stuff. Like I don't
It's like
know.
a vehicle version of Obi-Wan with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
icons.
Right, right. I'm not familiar enough with it, and I didn't get on. Well, it wasn't Smuggler Han, was it? What was it called? Yeah, it definitely wasn't called Smuggler Han. What it
Smugglers Den?
was that what it's called?
Yeah, the Jedi smugglers with
Yeah.
Echo Caverns.
Like I never got on that list at all. Like I never played it. I never did anything with it. So I don't think I've ever. I've probably played them. No, I don't know that I've ever played that set in a tournament.
Really, I used to love Echo
Yeah,
Caverns,
yeah.
but I had a goofy Leia deck that used Echo Caverns and Heavy
David said it
Blaster,
was Smuggler's Caverns, but that doesn't sound right.
Smuggler's Cavern. Yeah, it might have been Smuggler's Cavern.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah,
That doesn't roll off the tongue though. Like I felt like it was something different. But yeah, I never played it, so I'm not familiar with those cards. So I'm gonna butcher their names.
that sounds about right though.
Norman says, "Here's a question: Does Desperation raise the stock of Alderon's Promise?"
Alderon's Promise. I'm blanking on that card. I mean, that's the set from Edge of Darkness, if I'm not mistaken.
No, well, let's clarify something real quick. Norman, did you mean the objective sets, or did you mean the card itself? David says first version was Smuggler's Den. They added caverns. They called it Smuggler Caverns. That just doesn't sound right.
I'm looking at Alderon's Promise, and I'm just kind of.
Don't see anything there.
I'm not sure what. I'm not sure. Oh,
All right.
he's saying because it's got some ways to raise the dial. I mean, it's just going to raise it one. I mean, I definitely don't think you want the dial like accelerating too fast because then you're putting yourself under more pressure to get all your pieces out. You know, you probably want to just. I mean, if the dial ticks up 2 a turn, I mean, you've only got. Well, actually, no, they go 1 the first turn, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I mean, if you get it on the 9th when it clicks to 9. I don't know. That's what 5 turns that you've got to
Yeah.
build your board.
I think I just like if you're gonna look for. I mean, obviously this is Rebel, so it synergizes a bit more. But if you're gonna look for like cutesy ways to get there faster, so you can blow up more things, I'd probably just go with Yoda UC Yoda and stick some enhancements on them.
Yeah.
Just raise that dial that way.
I don't know. Maybe somebody just jams desperation into a Jedi deck somehow. You know, just
All right,
says
so-
screw it.
So Renegade Squadron, Falcon, Outrider. You think that's gonna be a deck?
No,
All right. Well, just shatter my hopes and dreams.
that's what I'm here for.
All right. So you're not sold on Lebo and Pal. You're thinking.
Not yet. No, I'm
Not
not.
yet. Okay. All right. Anything else from Lightside jump out at you then, aside from Q-Ron right now? Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Q-Ron
just the two
Desperation.
rebel sets. Maybe the two rebel sets are enough, and some crafty player comes up with a good rebel deck. I mean, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm always rooting for rebels. So they've always got a soft spot in my heart,
I,
but I just don't know.
I like Rebels. I like where FFG has taken Rebels with characters lately. I really like a lot of like, is it Crix and
Fritz
Paige?
Maydean.
Yeah, I like the cutesy stuff that they can do where they're not like big dudes, but they're like cool guys. You know, the stuff they do is just, you know.
I mean, it helps that Maydean's got Seeds of Decay, and he's got Adaptive Strategy. So you've almost got like 4 Seeds of Decay in there.
Yeah.
So
All right, so my vote is I think I'm gonna go and say I think somewhere between 30 and 40% of the field, at least during the first. We'll just look at the first like 4 weeks of regional seasons. I think somewhere I'd say 30 to 40% of the field is going to be pilots.
that's a pretty hefty percentage.
Yeah, I think people like new cards. I think people like to play new cards, and I think some of these cards do some really interesting things.
40% though? 30 to
I
40%?
said no. I said somewhere between. So for TGO terms, this would be somewhere between a, you know, FF minus and an FF plus. I did say 40%. That would be like a D minus.
But an F ranges from 0 to 59%.
I know, that's why I was going with the double. Man, that just went right over your head. Okay. My guess, like I said, somewhere between 30 and 40. So I'm thinking somewhere like 35, 34, 36, something like that.
So a third. So you're saying roughly a third of the field will be
Yeah.
pilots.
Yeah.
So it's something that you will be preparing for.
I know we're gonna get in a ton of games especially against Darkside pilots. With the sets we've seen, or the sets in our hands, however you want to say it, it's much easier to like lump Darkside pilots together than it is for
I feel like
Lightside pretty much just has rebels.
I feel like you saying with cards in hand, you're just rubbing my nose in the fact that my store hasn't given me my cards yet.
I'm actually doing something different. I spent 2.5 years living in a city I hated, dealing with stores that would get like you just do not even understand the headaches I went through trying to get packs. Like for BTS, I had to drive 45 minutes one way because that was the closest store that actually got it in a reasonable amount of time. When that I think, you know, I had called the city I'm living in now, and they had 9 on hand. So yeah, more just like the fact that I get them like almost, well, what the issue is that there's a distributor in this city, and most of the stores will just drive to the distributor to pick up product. So when stuff comes out here, it's like every store has it the day of.
Yeah,
Which,
I'm jealous.
yeah, that was much more of my like, I love it here. I just love getting cards so quick. And yes, be jealous.
Jerk.
Right? Right now I think it's mostly just like rebel pilots and smuggler pilots. So it just feels a bit different for Lightside. Anything else to add there?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So you don't think it'll be 30% of the field?
No, I think it's going to be lower.
All right. Are we coming back next week?
I'm hoping so.
I'm getting requests for Friday as opposed to Thursday.
Either one's fine for me.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm off on Fridays, so I mean, I can do Fridays.
We'll get everything worked out behind the scenes. We'll give everybody notice differently. We had plans yesterday to surprise everybody with the cast returning, and something came up at the last minute, and we were like, well, glad we didn't post anywhere that we were coming back yesterday. So we decided to go with the surprise for today.
Yeah, I'm to blame for yesterday. So
That happens. It's all good. We should be back somewhat regularly. I know we'll definitely be back mostly regularly during regional season. Obviously, traveling and stuff will mess that up just a little bit.
yeah,
But it was good to be back. I hope everybody liked us being back.
it was good.
We'll be back next week should be back next week. If for some reason or not, whenever it is we do come back, we'll definitely have the 5-minute structure again. There was a lot of things to talk about since some things had gone down in our little hiatus, if I can butcher that word anymore. So we just wanted to just kind of have like a wrap up session, so to speak. And we won't have it until next Wednesday. Life advice: don't cut your hand on a Cajun seasoned crab claw.
Oh, I bet that burned.
David, what?
I bet that stung real good.
Oh, I love this community so much. It's so much fun.
I've actually got a similar story to that.
Okay, let's end on that similar story.
Do I actually get to tell that story?
Yeah, I wasn't meaning to end on the fact that you had a
Oh.
similar story.
I thought you were cutting me off. I was like, man. No, so I was in high school. I wanted to become a chef, so I'd
Okay.
taken some culinary classes at. They offered schools where they bused us to another school where they had culinary classes.
Sure.
So I was cutting up jalapenos for something,
Okay, I can
and
see
I
this.
learned very early never to rub your eyes after you've touched a jalapeno.
I can see how that would be bad.
That was bad news, man. That burned.
Was that like hospital visit bad or just painful?
Just painful bad. So yeah, on that note, we can end today's cast.
All right. I like that yeah, okay. We'll end with those fantastic stories. We should be back next week. We'll make a post online letting everybody know for certain. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Later.